If you own your home, it is likely you have an HO3 or Homeowners 3 policy. This is the most common homeowners policy there is. You might wonder, why HO3? What are HO1 and HO2? How many different types are there? How can you be sure you have the right policy if you don't understand your other options? Hello, my name is Amanda Yaniz, and this is the Concklin blog. While there are other differences between the policies, the main reason an HO3 policy is preferred and HO1 and HO2 policies are not recommended comes down to what causes of loss or perils are included in the coverage. An HO1 policy, also called a Homeowners Basic Form policy, only covers the dwelling against 12 perils. An HO2 policy, known as a Homeowners Broad Form policy, includes coverage for the dwelling against 20 broad form perils. An HO3 is also known as a Homeowners Special Form policy and includes coverage on your dwelling for all perils, except for those specifically excluded. Because of this, many home insurance agents do not offer HO1 or HO2 policies, as they do not provide sufficient coverage for something as important as your home. While you can still find these coverages, it is not recommended, and you may have to ask for them specifically. If you don't have an HO3 policy, then you likely have an HO5 insurance policy, also known as a Homeowners Comprehensive Form policy. An HO5 policy is very similar to an HO3 policy. The only difference is that personal property is protected against all risk, except for those specifically excluded, and offers replacement cost value on your items. In comparison, an HO3 policy limits personal property protection to the 20 broad named perils and only pays the actual cash value of items. Because of this distinction, an HO5 policy is typically more expensive. To decide if this policy is right for you, review the 20 broad form perils and talk to your insurance agent about your specific concerns. It is important to note that HO5 insurance policies are not available in all locations. Luckily, if you live in an area where you cannot get an HO5 policy, you can opt to include additional coverages on your HO3 policy. Talk to your insurance agent about your options. So far, we've talked about HO1, HO2, HO3, and HO5. You might be wondering, why did we skip HO4? This is simply because HO4 is a renter's policy. Additionally, there are 3 more types of HO insurance: HO6, HO7, and HO8 policies. An HO6 policy is a condominium owner's form policy, meaning it is intended to be used by the owner of the unit, not the condo owners association that owns the condo complex. An HO7 policy is for mobile homes and offers coverages specific to those types of units. An HO8 policy is a modified form policy. This type of policy is extremely rare and does not have any significant advantages over the other HO policies. There is only a few cases in which these policies would be issued, and very few insurance companies offer it. This is because it only protects the dwelling and personal property from the basic form perils and only pays for the actual cash value of the dwelling for up to the limits of liability in the event of a covered loss. In comparison, an HO1, HO2, HO3, and HO5 policy covers the dwelling for the replacement cost up to the limits of liability in the event of a covered loss. It is important to note that different insurance carriers may have slight variations on these policies, and many offer endorsements that can be used to modify the coverage. For example, you can add an endorsement to an HO3 insurance policy that upgrades your personal property coverage from actual cash value to replacement cost. Generally, these endorsements are inexpensive and may be included automatically in your quote. For more information on homeowners insurance, perils, and coverages, visit our blog or talk to one of our knowledgeable agents today.